In 2019, 10 LGBTQ plus poets went to Pride in West Hollywood to write love poems for anyone who asked.
Are you ready? I'm ready.
What do you think about when you think of the word love?
Well, when I think about love, it's not an instantaneous thing. It's something that builds over time. You keep coming back.
I think I've got it. If you give me about
All right.
5 minutes, I'll
Certainly, I'll
work
go-
something out.
I'll go sit on the stone.
Interchangeable parts. The vast machine marches on. Steam-powered or mechanical typists. Many hammers, one ribbon. Do you want your ink black or red?
It's amazing. I will have to absorb this. Now do we subscribe forever?
I started writing poems for strangers about 7 years ago on a typewriter. It was a really transformative experience for me in terms of having this human connection with people and making art and it feeling like it really mattered in people's everyday lives. 5 poets were born. It was an attempt to bring together a group, to bring together a community around this shared practice that's somewhere between writing and fortune-telling and therapy, and to share this with other queer writers.
I love the idea that as a poet, I could compose something and hand it directly to the person and make a connection with them.
Pride for me is about, accepting who you are and having the acknowledgement from people around you.
As a poet, I tend to write really dark, kind of like that Leonard Cohen song, I want it darker. And so the idea, I think it's really important for poets to remember the light.
Whatever love means to you.
Oh gosh, that's huge.
You love great food.
Oh,
They write a love poem about great food.
I can definitely do that.
All of these favorite things give me moans with my bedroom voice. The taste of love and the way to my heart, yes, is through my belly.
Thank you.
A lot of times we just zip through doing work and we don't really connect with people. And so it's that precious moment of catching someone in the eye and having them feel loved. Like the poem interaction itself is an act of love.
I would try to listen for a story that I could understand and relate to as a human being inside the other person.
There's me in everybody. There's everybody in me. That sounds sexual, and I mean it just beautifully and poetically.
Things that I don't think would have emerged anywhere else. A woman wanted a poem because she was just awash in joy about she and her wife having a new baby, their second baby. And she was imagining what their family would be. And a young man struggling because his parents could not accept him as gay. 2 men who had only been dating about a year and were just so in love with each other and wanted something to capture. They were just gazing at each other. It was so lovely.
I've never been to a pride parade. This is going to be my first one. It's my first one since realizing that I belong in the queer community. So I'm a little nervous about how I'm going to fit in and how it's going to feel.
Kind of scared of big crowds, and I've been dealing with a lot of stuff, and this year is really like the first year I've stopped feeling afraid, both about like myself and about crowds and my art, and I'm just trying to recapture a life.
I do like it so much, thank you. I like this crowd like this, thank you so much, this is so lovely. Thank you, thank you. There's so many.
He knew exactly what she wanted me to write about.
I'm worth these things. I'm worth what everybody said I wasn't.
Here's what I wrote for Arise.
These are my gold days.
Love that only you can give yourself.
See that light gleam off the red rose? That's you, baby. That's you. And I keep it in a mirrored frame to really represent.
Love comes unexpected. A look, a whine, a wrap me on the couch. Knowing eyes remember the past. Live in the now, a forever dog, forever home.
It was like somebody had climbed into our soul. The best parts of my relationship are now on this paper. And it's amazing to know how valued they are when they're that tangible and that they could maybe be shared. And I thought that was an incredibly wonderful compliment and an awesome gift.
Being with this group that feels so naturally, who everyone gets, I get everyone.
It was like this very low stakes, but like really cathartic moment. And it also gave me a lot of confidence. Like I can affect people. Like my writing has force and agency in the world. And I'd been very isolated for a while before that. And I kind of felt like nothing I was doing was affecting anything else. And I was just kind of invisible.
I wrote him a poem about how he can't. I get choked up thinking about this, about how he can't stop because the work he was doing, the calls keep coming. So many people have died and he can't stop. Yeah. He can't stop. And he's just going to sing out the names of the people that he was working for.
She was just coming out and she had come from a small town in Alaska and he fanned me the entire time.
She was this woman who had lost her wife less than a year ago.
This man who wanted a poem about his dog, who he had like rescued from the street.
Now it's a moment that's not an alone moment, and here is proof that no matter how long you keep feeling those things, you're nowhere near alone in them. And that's, I think, the point of all of the poems. It's just like we're not alone, and we're all more the same than we are different.
Resilience is remembering there is a clearing after the storm, that there is a light, a North Star.
Blessed be the hate. Bless the name they don't say when talking about me.
If you and I love, let us live.
This is my purpose. My purpose is to, in some small way, leave the space that I occupy better than it was when I walked into it. And this is how I know how to do it.